Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be reacting to
10 cultural shock stories having to visit France. Let's see.
The first thing that'll shock Americans when they come here is how much the French actually smoke. Whether it is having a cigarette with your coffee in the afternoon, or after your meal, or during your meal, or at breakfast, or at the cafe in the morning, the French love to smoke. Deal with.
I think it's not just a French thing, I think it's a European thing. Overall, compared to the States, Europeans smoke way more than here. So I think anywhere, maybe more in France, I'm not sure, but even like in Lithuania and everywhere in Europe, like I've been, smoking is way more than here.
With it. Yes, you're not.
Now here is more people smoke weed more. I don't know how weed is in Europe, because here is definitely, at least, when I came over here, weed was way more smoked than in Europe. Now maybe things have changed, I don't know, but the cigarettes here, nobody really smokes cigarettes here.
Smoke inside, and they don't, but they go outside and smoke. So if you're used to your pure, clean air, it's not going to happen here. So realize, yes, the French do like to smoke. A lot. And that will shock you how much they still do smoke, okay? The second thing that will shock you about coming to France is actually how friendly and helpful the people are in France. Because in the U.S. we hear all this anti-American stuff about France and how the French are rude and unhelpful. That's a bunch of BS, okay?
Yeah, what we kind of hear is that when you go to France, they don't want to speak English. They basically, what they say, that's not what I'm saying, that's what I've heard, is that French people speak English, but they don't want to speak English to you. They want you to speak French to them. That's basically the stereotype,
The French are fantastic people, and they are very helpful. Even here in Paris, the locals are actually much nicer than you'd expect from a huge international city with millions of tourists every year. So just realize, you'll be shocked at actually how friendly the French people can be.
I would love to go to a boulangerie.
Oh, you say that in every French reaction
video. Villages where you speak a little bit of French, how much even more friendly they become, and that's going to shock you just how wonderful the people are here, because they're not jerks that hate Americans, okay? They're good people. The third thing that'll shock you about coming to France is, how do I say this? Well, they're closed for business, okay? During the lunch hour, some businesses will literally close for an hour or two every day. Also, Sundays, forget about shop.
Again, I think that's more European thing, because we saw the same thing in Italy. We've seen it. We don't, not that we've seen. We know there's siesta in Spain too. Yeah, I think that's maybe across the board in Europe too. Just, I guess, not just exclusive to France.
Shopping, it's all closed down, and even some places on Mondays are closed as well. Museums, sometimes they're closed on Thursdays. And these weird office and business hours can get kind of frustrating for tourists. So it will shock you when you go to shop on a Sunday, or go to a museum on a Monday, or maybe a Tuesday, and they're closed, okay? So be prepared. So when you don't want to be shocked, if there's museums you want to go to, or shopping you want to go to, check their schedules online, and you'll be much better off and much happier. The fourth thing that might shock you about France is their look but don't touch mantra when it comes to two things. One, produce, okay? So when you see all the good fruit at the fruit stands and stuff like that, you're not supposed to pick it up. You wait for the guy or the...
Okay, that is maybe a little shocking. I mean, I don't...
Is it like you break it, you butter it?
He's talking about markets, though, not about grocery stores, I think.
They come to pick it up for you, and you say how many apples you want or how many bananas you want, these kind of things. You don't grab it yourself. So if you do, don't be surprised if someone yells at you and goes, "Hey, don't do that." Okay.
We don't shop at the market, so I don't even know how you would be in the market here, right? Like at the
usually in the market, the stuff is like not in front of you to take, but you see them like behind the table, and you point. But there's some stuff that's in front that you can, I guess you can touch, but no one's gonna yell at you to say don't touch anything, so don't take anything, but they will come to help you.
Because I think the reason for not touching is stealing, because if you touch, you can easily sneak something in. So I think that's the reason. It's hard to say how it is here, because we really don't go to a market. Because in a grocery store, you pick what you want. And if it's somebody's store, like a storefront in the market, I'm trying to remember in Lithuania. It's been such a long time. I don't remember how you. I think you do point what you want. You kind of say, "Oh, can I have this one?" like you point to which app, like for example, Apple, which apple you want. You do point. I don't think you go and give me this. I don't think you do that.
When we go to like the fish market, like in Whole Foods, you point to which one you want. You don't get it yourself.
Yeah, but that's because it's behind the glass.
I think it's like similar. If it's behind the table, you don't take it.
Of course, that's definitely. But I think how this setup is how we saw in Greece. Remember, it's like up front. Did the guy was touching them or no?
I don't think so. I think you can point and he'll ask questions and they'll offer, but I don't think you can just take it.
But this interesting point. Yeah, that's an interesting point.
Okay. Another thing that you're supposed to look at and not touch a lot of times are the parks. Okay, you'll see these beautiful parks everywhere, but no one's sitting on them because you're not supposed to sit in the parks. Now, some you can, but some you can't. So just make sure you look for the signs and make sure it says yes, you can sit here. Okay. The fifth thing that'll shock you about coming to France is the dog poop.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness, they love their dogs here, and they let their dogs enjoy France everywhere. And no, they don't clean it up all the time. So whether you're walking in the streets or on the sidewalks, it's
my parents said the same thing in Spain. They said that was so weird for them in Spain. They walk around, they have to like dodge dog shits as they walk. They said that's so weird. Yeah.
Stuff like that. Keep an eye out for the dog poop. And when it rains, it can get pretty slick, okay? So just be prepared for that, because you might be shocked about how much dog poop you will see on the streets, okay? Number 6, this is for my American friends.
If you do that in the States, they will bully you until you need to pick it up.
No, they'll fine you eventually. If you keep doing it, they'll fine you. They'll call somebody and you'll have to pay.
Yeah, but I'm saying in general, like, they will bully you.
Yeah. Guys, pick up your dog poop.
To the Côte d'Azur, the French Riviera. Yes, those girls.
It's common sense. It's not rules.
No, that's their country. That's their norms.
Come on, it's your dog poop. Pick that shit up. Like literally, yeah.
Girls there, they are topless, and that
for
is
me, I will
completely
only
normal.
tell someone pick it up if they do it on my land. If you do it on my land, you have to pick it up. But if it's outside my land, I cannot control that.
Why would they be on your land?
Like if they're walking by and the dog is like, this looks nice. Yes, it's nice. I know it's nice, but no, it's not for you.
Okay, they do have topless beaches here, and it's not a topless beach. It's just a beach that you can go topless, yes or no. I mean, sometimes we go topless. I mean, no one wants to see me topless, but I'll do it. Okay, my wife, all kinds of my friends will do it too. It's normal here. That's why it's kind of funny when you go down, you go to the rocky beaches in Nice or whatever, and you'll see the Americans come, they'll have like their camera on their side, like taking pictures of normal people just laying out, because, oh look, boobs! So yes, you will see some boobs when you go to the beaches, okay? And you're free to show yours as well. It's okay. The 7th thing that might shock when you come here is when it comes to eating.
I wonder if
Lots of things might shock.
What, the topless? But it's the same here too. People go topless.
Yeah, but it's like mostly older, like an older generation that does it. There's not too much young generation that does that.
I guess.
So a lot of people, they come here and they're expecting it's gonna be like the very youthful people to do it, but there is like mostly older people.
Oh.
So I thought that was like more of a generational thing.
I've seen women topless here. I've seen women topless in Lithuania. So it's not like I've never seen it before. Definitely not like super common. Not like, maybe like 1 out of 100 people. But. Like I think by law you can't do it. I don't think it's forbidden. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Shock you, one, how fantastic the food is, but most likely what will shock you is when you go to eat, if you're from the U.S., dinner times are like from 5 to 6, maybe 7 at night. Well, here in France, a lot of times restaurants will close in the afternoon between the lunch sitting and the dinner sitting. So if you want to eat at 5 or 6, it might be hard to find a restaurant to eat at that's not like a touristy place, okay? So
yeah, once again, I think that's a European thing, because in multiple countries we see that, and in Lithuania too, it's similar sometimes.
make sure you realize that, hey, sometimes the restaurants don't open for dinner until 7 p.m. You might be able to go in for a drink or something, but the kitchen part might not open until 7, okay? So that might shock you there. The 8th thing that might shock you when you come here is, yes, having a baguette and cheese can be a meal. The food here is knocked out by far the best food in the world. I travel all over the place, and yes, I love my food in China. I love my Italian friends, but I'm sorry. My heart bleeds French food. It is so fantastic here, and even the simplest fare, cheese and a baguette, cheese and bread, will be a wonderful meal. I can't tell you how many times I've sat here in this part of the park you can actually sit in front of the Eiffel Tower and had bread and cheese with my family as we just played around here in the park. And that's all we had, and we were happy with it. And you'll see that with the French. They'll just grab a baguette or they'll grab some fruit. You can have a very simple meal here and eat very well.
French children have small bread rolls in their strollers. Oh.
Or you can have fantastic feasts of food at restaurants. And one thing that might shock you is it takes a long time to eat in France. So if you get one of those menus, where it has a starter, a main dish, and a dessert, you're looking at spending maybe an hour or two or longer at the restaurant. And also, at those restaurants, you may think that they know you're finished, but you still have to ask for l'addition, the bill. Otherwise, they'll just let you sit there for hours. Because the French do that. They sit there for hours, have their coffee and wine and cigarettes, of course, outside and stuff. So just be prepared for that. The ninth thing that might shock you about coming to France is, yes, you do need to parler français. You need to speak at least a little French when you're here. Now, old people here, they don't speak too much English. Young people, they are learning it, and they speak some, so you're okay that way. In the tourist industry, you're okay. But the thing is, when you're going around...
I wonder how much of this is, like, in Paris versus, like, outside Paris. Because I would feel like Paris being such a tourist destination, I think English should be enough to get by. Now, once you go out of Paris, yes, I think you got to speak French. But in Paris, I feel like didn't we see when we did the stats that Paris is like the most visited city in the world?
Yeah.
Right. So I feel like when you have the most visited, I feel like this should be pretty international.
You're going to restaurants, you're ordering food and stuff like that. It is a vital need that you speak at least a little French. And we have some basic phrase videos in French that will help out. And just speaking that a little bit will make a big difference. Because you're not always going to get an English menu if you're outside of Paris, okay? Paris, it's easy because there's so many tourists, but hey, you're going to Avignon or Montpellier or La Rochelle, it's a little bit tougher to come by, okay? So you need to be shocked.
I wonder how many languages he speaks. Because, I mean, he said, and we've seen him in, like, this is our third country we're seeing him in. I wonder, like, how much he speaks.
Brazil?
No, we saw him in Argentina, Lithuania, and now France, yeah.
That yes, you do need to speak some French because no, not everyone speaks English here, okay? The 10th thing that might shock you, especially if you're from the U.S., are the free-range children they have here. The French let their kids be children. They get to go ride on their bikes and their scooters by themselves and no helmets and stuff like that. And it's okay. They don't helicopter parent here. So I'll see.
Now, I do wonder if that's still the case. Because this video is 9 years old. And times have changed. When I grew up in Lithuania, also was similar. But nowadays, I don't know if the parents are the same. It's, times have changed.
Tourists going, oh my God, there's a kid by themselves over there. He might be 8 or 9. Yeah, that's normal here, okay? But it does shock Americans when they see like kids roving groups of 10-year-olds hanging out. Because they give them the independence to do that, and it's great. I know our kids, we let them run wild when they're here, and they love it because they're not dragged back by some old lady down the street saying, hey, this little kid was out on his own. I'm like, yes, it's a park. They can play. Okay, so that might shock you, is that thing. The 11th thing that's going to shock you about coming to France is, guys.
Oh, 11th? I thought it was 10.
You need to realize, France is not just Paris. I know I'm making this video in front of the Eiffel Tower because it is the most iconic vision of Paris. I mean, if I had a beret, it'd be just perfect.
Yeah, and based on what people in our comments said too, that France outside Paris is very, very different.
But the thing is, France is so much more than Paris. I love Avignon. I love Bordeaux, the wine. Oh my God! Go to Toulouse for the Space Museum there. I mean, France is awesome, and it goes everywhere. Mont Saint-Michel, probably the most prettiest place in the world. Oh my God, it's gorgeous. There's so much in France to see outside of Paris, and that's what shocks a lot of people because they think, oh, I just need to see Paris. No, there is so much more here, and you're going to love it. And the 12th thing that might shock you when you do come to France is that you might see there are quite a few beggars around. Now, the French people say, well, they're not French.
Yeah, this was when I was there, too. I didn't like that. That was about Paris. What bothered me the most is the beggars. Not only the number of them, they're very pushy, too. Like, here, the beggars are not as pushy. They don't... They walk around, but they don't bother you. The beggars in France that I encountered, they bother you. Like, they don't let you be.
What did they do?
No, they like walk after you. They just don't leave you alone.
They walk after you?
Yeah, they walk and they don't let you. Like once they hook into you. They well, yeah, like it was really unpleasant experience.
French, you know, and these kind of things. But just be prepared for people begging on the metros, or musicians asking for money, or children begging, these kind of things. Just be prepared for that. Now, you should not give them money.
But I think that's a Paris thing. I don't think that's the whole. I only been to Paris, so I do think that's just the Paris thing. I think, you know.
Did you went to the boulangerie?
Thanks.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay, because that just encourages them to keep going. So just realize you might see some beggars. Now, those are actually 12 things that might shock you when you come to France. We love France. I'm shocked how much I love it. And every time I come here, I fall in love even more with it. I mean, literally, this is probably my 35th or 36th time in France, and I can't wait to come back. And I haven't even left yet. So anyway, if you want to learn more things about
very nice. Guys, of course,
things that might shock.
let us know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord. And as always, share as much kindness as possible.